Welcome back to the Black Report, your daily source for Black news, views, and opinions. A bill reintroduced in the House last week to create a commission to examine reparations for the African American descendants of slavery is being seen by many as an early test of President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris's proclaimed commitment to tackling structural oppression. The commission of 13 people would be tasked with examining the history of slavery in the United States and the systemic racism that resulted, including federal and state governments' role in supporting it, and recommend appropriate remedies to Congress. The bill is known as H.R. 40, which was reintroduced by Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee, a Texas Democrat. The reintroduction of the bill has sparked a huge debate on the new app Clubhouse. Joining us now to discuss the A.D.O.S. movement is Margery Melvin. Welcome back to the Black Report, Margery.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, and Happy New Year. Can you explain to our soulmates what A.D.O.S. is and what it means?
A.D.O.S. stands for American Descendants of Slavery. It is a political organization, an established 501c4 committed to political advocacy, lobbying, specifically to obtain a reparations package for Americans, Black Americans who descended from U.S. slavery. And it is founded by Yvette Carnell and attorney Antonio Moore.
How do you feel about H.R. 40?
Very good question. H.R. 40 needs to be edited. Reparations is an urgent thing. It's been needed for over 400 years, but it needs to be edited. It needs to be the right type of bill for the right reasons. And so with that, I'm all for it with the appropriate 6 edits, meaning no payment for folks doing a job that they should want to do. You want to get the right people, competent folks who are experts in their field, and then there are 4 other things. But it's a fine bill provided that it is appropriately edited, and you can check out the specific edits that A.D.O.S. is recommending on ADOS101.com.
Okay, so Black immigrants, they feel as though the A.D.O.S. movement excludes them. And your group was actually criticized for saying that President-elect Kamala Harris was not a descendant of slaves. So how do you decide who is a descendant and who's not?
Okay, so for purposes of determining who is eligible for reparations, there's a 2-pronged test. The first thing is that the person is a descendant of a person who, an individual, who descended from U.S. chattel slavery. And the second prong, for purposes of receiving reparations, is that the person self-identified as Black American, Black, or African American for 12 years. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris is a Black woman, but she is not an American descendant of slavery. And that's okay. We're all different.
Okay. Marge, I want to ask you, what's the political agenda of A.D.O.S.? Can you tell our soulmates that, please?
Romeo?
Yes.
The political agenda is primarily, the heart is reparations. Reparations for Americans who descended from U.S. slavery. But with that is a Black agenda. We will be addressing, or intend to address, environmental regulations, the need for closing the racial wealth gap, dealing with health disparities, business loans, ensuring affordable education for our young people. So we have a Black agenda that addresses everybody, that speaks to all Black Americans. But the reparations portion is solely for Black Americans who descended from U.S. chattel slavery.
Okay.
Margery, thank you so much for joining us
Yes.
today and bringing insight to the A.D.O.S. movement.
You're very welcome, Alyssa.
Okay, take care.
President-elect Joe Biden will extend the nearly year-long pause on federal student loan payments on day one. This will be the first concrete promise the incoming administration has made to tackle the $1.6 trillion debt crisis. Biden transition official David Kamen told reporters on Friday that alleviating the crushing financial burden of student loan debt will be an immediate priority for the incoming administration as part of its commitment to get our economy moving and keep Americans afloat. That includes directing the Department of Education on day one to extend the popular student loan forbearance program, as well as expanding income-based repayment programs and fixing the expanding loan forgiveness programs for those with public service jobs. But how exactly will the incoming administration, how will they handle the student loan forgiveness program for other borrowers remains unclear. In the call with reporters, the transition official said that Biden supports Congress immediately canceling $10,000 of federal student loan debt per person as a response to the COVID crisis, but didn't offer details or a specific time frame, according to CBS News. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to add here really quick. You guys know that the 0% loan forgiveness is changed 3 times. So it was September 30th, then Trump extended it to December 31st. And so if you guys are not paying your student loans right now, you technically have until January 31st of this year. But Biden says that he plans to extend the moratorium, of course, like we said. But then also a couple of things that he also says is that the community college will be free. Public colleges and universities will be tuition free for families earning less than $125,000 a year. So I have over $50,000 when I graduated from college. So this is a great deal. Hopefully this $10,000 can start immediately.
Yeah, that is true.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's a waste of time. I mean, he's saying he's directing Congress. He's directing Congress to pass, to $10,000 when he could, by executive order, cancel $50,000. And the thing is, why not?
Sure.
Go all the way, because the people who oppose this, they also oppose $10,000. So they're going to be mad at you. But by going small, now you get people on your side mad at you, because that doesn't really cut into really much of what they have. $10,000 is like interest.
Well, you know what? What we
Pretty
learned
much.
with like the stimulus, Brooke, like they could have given us $2,000, but they gave us $600. So, and like I like to look at it like $600 paid for a bill. So it's like, you know what? If I couldn't get the $50,000, $10,000 will put me in a good position. So I'll take it.
Brooks on that. Don't settle for it, though.
No, I respect it, but I think the difference between the stimulus is that the issue was the Republicans only wanted to give you this. Democrats said, put us in power, we'll give you more.
Yeah.
And so now here we have a Democrat in power not giving more.
That's deep.
That is true.
Right.
All right. The Small Business Administration has forgiven 1.1 million Paycheck Protection Program loans amounting to over $100 billion, the agency announced Tuesday evening. Today's news is a key indicator that the PPP is working for all small businesses across our nation, said SBA Administrator Jovita Carranza. The PPP was a central COVID-19 economic relief program in March's CARES Act, offering small business forgivable loans to keep workers on the books and stay afloat. The program was renewed last month as part of the year-end COVID-19 $900 billion relief package and opened the door for some businesses to apply for a second loan. But the number of businesses seeking forgiveness was surprisingly low. Of 4.9 million loans made, SBA said that it has only received forgiveness applications for about 1.3 million of the loans, totaling about $170 billion. The SBA was focused on forgiving smaller loans, creating a simpler application process for loan forgiveness for loans under $50,000. So soulmates, if you received a PPP loan, you may want to look into this. And if you know somebody who received a PPP loan, please spread the word. I think about some of these loans that got mishandled last year. There's a possibility that they could be a lot even more fraud going into 2021.
Sure was.
And so when I think about some of the lesser amount that's asking for forgiveness, is it because some of these businesses are not real and people are just trying to dance around and keep the money and not pay it back? We don't know if that's going to happen or not.
I mean, one of those didn't Kanye's company get like a PPP loan?
The
the
Lakers at one point had to
gave
turn it down.
back.
Yeah.
They sent them a check.
They applied for it and got sent a check that they asked for.
Didn't
and then
Joel
when they got
Osteen's
shamed,
church get like
Ruth's Chris, Shake Shack, all of these massive companies?
But it's
were
the
like,
smaller
well, we
business and mom and pops that are being
needed
affected.
it and didn't get jack.
Yeah, that's true.
Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, our YouTube soulmates, you guys. I'm loving it today, okay? Absolute amazingness happening in the chat right now. Oprah Gates says, give me my reparations so that I can pay off my student loans. I feel you, girl, okay? Casey Bizboss says, bet I'm eligible for reparations. Yes, we all are here on The Black Report, okay? Dina Johnson says, The Black Report is bringing us deep info today. Thanks, guys. Okay, and then one more, I have to read this one, says, they need to cancel half of student loans, but we'll take the $10,000 off as a good gesture. And I feel you, girl. All right. Keep on commenting in the chat.